What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. This is the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 12 recap titled Blazed and Confused. And that is such an apt title because this episode was a little bit better than last week, but it left me a little confused, right? So they all meet, or I shouldn't say all of them, but Ashley, Gizelle, Mia, and Robin, they meet in the clothing store because, again, Ashley and Gizelle are going to milk this athleisure line for all that it's worth. I feel like neither one of them really have a storyline or are really bringing much to the show besides starting this clothing line. But they're talking about, how they should design it, right? If they should put extra absorbent, material. And Mia's like, yeah, because people sweat when they work out and they want their athleisure line to be not only comfortable but also functional. Okay, I get that. Then they're talking about going to um, Karen's event. Ashley was telling them about the experience, the event in Surry, and Mia said that she declined because she found out that Karen was doing multiple text threads in regards to inviting the ladies. And she's like, I'm no one's, second draft. I'm a first round pick. Okay, and I get that, that framework. But at the same time, it's like if you don't want to go, then just say you don't want to go. And then they move on to talking about Eddie and Wendy's event for his cannabis line, Happy Eddie. And they were saying that Nneka's husband, Ike, was not on the group chat because he essentially, he was a bit aggressive. I'm not going to lie. He stepped to Eddie when they were playing pickleball over, again, some nonsense. I feel like a lot of this stuff, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or because they're getting older, or it just seems so repetitive and childish. But a lot of their squabbles are just like really immature. Like if somebody invites me to something, whether it's, you know, um, the first thought or afterthought or whatever the case may be, if I don't like the person, if I don't want to go, I'll just say thank you, but I have my business to tend to, I won't be able to make it, but I wish you all the best. Have a great time, blah, blah, blah. Right. But see, here's the thing with these ladies, because Gizelle is trying to be really strategic in who she is filming with. Like she doesn't want to film with Wendy. She doesn't want to film with Candice. She's essentially trying to ice them out. And Candice has already talked about that. But this is for a check, right? So this is more than just, this person likes me or this person doesn't like me. They have to film together in order to create an episode for television. So this is a work event. So work events, I would show up and I wouldn't care who liked me or not, because at the end of the day, they don't pay my bills, right? This is a work event. So yeah, show up for a check. Okay, so the ladies, Lebe and Nneka invites her friends over to, see her new home. She's still unpacking, and she said that she's going to have um, a pajama party, like, to help her unpack her house because her husband, Ike, is a traveling doctor. And of course, that's like a nice coin when the doctors and the nurses travel the country. So one thing I will say that stood out to me was that she's starting her own sparkling wine line, which is great. I'm all for entrepreneurship, but she has been very transparent about wanting to conceive and start a family. She's taking prenatal vitamins with champagne. She says she starts her day with bubbles and she ends her day with bubbles. And listen, I am not one to, monitor or hate on anybody and their different vices. But what I will say is, I really hope that she does a bit of research or maybe even talk to her husband, right? Because he's a doctor, about the effects of combining, champagne or alcohol with prenatal vitamins if you're trying to conceive. To me, I'm not a doctor, but it doesn't seem to make the best sense. Okay. So Candice and Chris are talking, and Chris is counting Candice's coins, essentially, right? He's getting on her case about a purse that she's buying. And my thing is, I don't think that Chris would be half as concerned about how Candice is spending her money if he had a job outside of, his YouTube channel. Like, I love my YouTube channel, but it's not, some people use it as a career, and I would love to get there, right? But as far as, you know, me, I have a job outside of YouTube, and many YouTubers do. So if it's not enough to sustain your 9 to 5, or just to, sustain their household to the point where he's not counting whether or not his wife, who works really hard, she's not only on Real Housewives of Potomac, but she's also touring and, building up her musical career. I feel like, if he had a restaurant to run, or even was a private chef or a caterer, he lives in Potomac. It's a very, affluent area where people hire chefs all the time. If he had a job, he wouldn't be sitting there counting her coins, frustrated that she bought a purse. But, if Candice loves it, okay, I like it. If she likes it, I love it. So they go to Wendy and Eddie's spot where they are introducing them again to his cannabis line. And they have 3 strains, the Happy Eddie, and the highest one is the Zen Wen. But back then, when this was filming, weed wasn't legal in Maryland. So they are using oregano to, show them how to roll blunts and things like that. I'll say this. I'm really proud of Eddie and Wendy. I feel like they're not only the best dressed couple, and also the most like couple goals for all the couples on the show, outside of Ray and Karen. But Ray and Karen, I like Wendy and Eddie's relationship. I'll just say that. And Wendy, to me, is the most fashionable, and she's also, a doctor. But the fact that he is, starting his own line, and definitely he's done his research, and this industry is growing as fast as it is. I'm really proud of the both of them. Candice, she couldn't stay. She has, again, another scripted show that she's on, another check that she is earning. I mean, Candice must really love Chris, because ain't no way I'm gonna have 3 jobs. She's like leaving this job to go to another job on top of, building her music career. This girl got 3 jobs, and he's over there mad that she bought a purse. I'd have been like, sir, are you mad because you couldn't buy? Never mind. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Gizelle, I need her to I was gonna say get a job outside of starting that clothing line with Ashley, but just do something else other than hating on Wendy. I feel like she is so jealous. It reminds me of how she treated Monique Samuels when Monique first came on the show. That she was, her and Chris back then were madly in love. At least it appeared that way on camera. They were very, financially successful. And they just had these things that Gizelle didn't have. Gizelle's over here at the table, and Wendy was saying, trying to build community, bring everybody together, enjoy a bonding moment, right, with the ladies and gentlemen. And she says, we haven't laughed together like this in a very long time. Here goes Gizelle with her old sourpuss self talking about, did I laugh? Did we laugh? I didn't laugh. Shady producers, okay, the Bravo shady producers, they need their own Emmy, because they definitely cut to where Gizelle was laughing multiple times. Even Karen was giving her the side eye, sitting beside her like, okay, like, is that oregano? Because Gizelle was cracking up. I don't know if it's what happened with Jamal. I don't know what is going on with Gizelle Bryant, but man, she is a bitter Betty. Fix it. Okay, anyway, moving on. Speaking of fixing it, so Nneka comes over and she just tells Wendy that she appreciates Wendy essentially is, extending that olive branch, inviting her to Eddie's event. And Wendy's like, okay, she's like, I'm going to need time to, process this, because Nneka's trying to be apologetic. And she's like, well, I thought inviting me here was basically wanting to mend the relationship between the two of them. And I would have thought that as well. Like, I don't invite people to events that I have if I don't consider them friends or at least close associates. But listen, I commend Nneka for at least, asking her to talk, because Wendy's like, well, I'm going to need time, which is fine. I understand that as well, because Nneka did, call her mom out of her name and, say all these things. So they sit down and they talk it out. And I hope that they can, work on things and get their relationship together, because I like both of them. So the last scene is everybody meeting at Nneka's house for her unpacking party in their pajamas. And Mia and Karen get into it again. Mia calls Karen an old dog, and she's like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And Karen's like, well, Mia, you are the trick. Okay. If Karen Huger is not going to do nothing else, she's going to give you an old school, nice, nasty read. Okay. Again, I hope these ladies can get it together, because I don't know. I just miss when the show was a lot more fun and lighthearted. I just feel like they are really uh, nasty to one another. There's no fun anymore. But anyway, those are my thoughts. You guys, I want to know what you think. Please let me know in the comments section below. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, Aces. Bye.